And domestic flights will resume on the 8th of July. Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika, who made the announcement, disclosed that the flights will commence at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. The Port Harcourt, Owerri, and Maiduguri airports will begin operations on the 11th of July, while flights will resume in other airports across the country on July the 15th. Passengers are advised to follow all safety guidelines and protocols put in place to ensure that the airports do not become channels for the spread of the coronavirus. And joining me on the news to further discuss the flight resumption order is an aviation journalist, Chuks Iwelumo. Good to have you join us, Chuks Iwelumo. Now, we now know that domestic flights are set to resume in the country from the 8th of July. Do you have any concerns when it comes to the resumption of the domestic flights?
Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much. There is not much concern because the agencies saddled with the responsibility of handling these things have been able to put so many things together. A smooth takeoff on the 8th from Abuja to Lagos. Like FAN told us recently that every arrangement has been put in place. After 4 months of non-flying, it is good to be back. Procedures and guidelines have been put in place by FAN, NCA, and other stakeholders. And it's expected that passengers coming to the airport will exactly adhere strictly to all these procedures. For example, 1.5 meter physical distancing is required. Passengers will be screened by aviation, medical, port health personnel, while luggage will be disinfected. Hand sanitizers, and so many other things. Face mask is compulsory. Again, like the minister said the other day, no VIP entourage is allowed. There is a stage they will get to and they will disembark. It's only the VIP will go in, and why his boys should go back, because this is not the time. We have to be very careful. Thank God for the pandemic. I think it's an eye-opener to us in the aviation industry. Aviation is the worst hit in the world since the emergence of this pandemic. We are happy that we are going back. Like they pointed out, from Wednesday next week, we'll go there, we see how the flight will take off. And I assure you that the airlines are ready. They have done their tests. They did everything. It was successful. The DGNCA was there to attest to it. And we are ready to go. We are good to go.
All right.
Airport,
just allow me, butt in here. So you said something about the maintaining 2 meters between passengers.
1.5 meters.
But in a situation where you have a flight booked, totally booked, what then happens? Because we hear, when we listen to some of these, the owners of some of these airlines, it almost looks like they're pushing the responsibility to the passengers themselves to say, look, just wear a mask, and if you sneeze, we'll get you out of the airline or the flight. So how do we monitor or ensure that social distancing is maintained in that flight?
For example, they have marked the terminal, and like they are trying to say to do, what they are trying to do is that they are going to live in between the middle seats, and that has been the bone of contention there, because it's going to be a big problem on their part. It's going to cost money. They are going to lose money if they continue to leave the middle seats in the aircraft. So that is the bone of contention for now. But I think it's for the safety of all of us. That is why government is looking at giving them palliative in order to cushion in the effect of all these things. Because I know you can imagine paying 70,000 naira to Abuja, as the case may be, and you are leaving a seat in between seats. You know, it's not going to be easy. But they are trying to see how they can come together with the government, agree together that nobody will run at loss. I think that is a better bargain if they can agree them down, because they have been waiting for this palliative. And people have been saying that if you need palliative, how are they going to give the palliative? Because remember that 19.5 billion naira was given as palliative intervention fund to airlines in this country, and most of them mismanaged it, went outside the country, mismanaged the money, and came back. That is why people are skeptical when they are calling for palliative to airlines in this country.
Right.
So they have to be very careful the way they give palliative to airlines. But people are ready to work this time. Airlines, they have learned their lesson and know they will sit tight, and the agencies are ready to work. I think it's good to go next week, Wednesday.
All right, aviation journalist Chuks Iwelumo, many thanks for talking to TVC News.